think once you have all the facts, you'll understand, again, my argument that this was not an option. This was a necessity. It's something that the Sheriff's Office has to do in order to be able to do our job correctly in this time. So here are our challenges. I came into the office with a lot of outstanding litigation, and our resources were severely understaffed for this facility, and in my opinion, we were at operational capacity, over operational capacity. And that's evident by the fact that we have to send inmates to other locations. We haven't had a collective bargaining agreement in 7 years with the correctional officers. And we have taken on a regular practice of locking down inmates for entire days. I want you to understand that most jails in our vicinity here have adequate personnel to do their job. When we opened our new facility, it was determined by the financial study that we should have had at least 128 officers to fill all the posts. Currently, we're authorized to have 122. A lack of supervision of the inmates creates a major litigation problem. So again, the closest county to our size, the jail, would be Lake County, and they don't exceed any more than 3 inmates per officer. Now that might seem like a lot of officers to inmate ratio, but when you take a shift relief factor and the fact that you're a 24/7 operation, that's about a 1 to 32 inmate correlation. Kane County, you can see we're much higher. We have over 5 inmates for every officer. We can't accomplish the task of manning 10 cell blocks in our jail. That's specifically why I made the determination that we have to shut down at least 1 work post until we have an adequate amount of employees to supervise our facility. Second step I took was to look at how we could reduce the number of inmates that are housed at the county jail. I think I made the argument last month that the only way we could reduce this to where we could handle the capacity that we currently have is to reduce the amount of federal marshal service inmates that come into our facility. But I do have the authority to ask the marshal to draw down or take back their inmates, and that's what the discussion was on the phone, and I had agreements to do that in early January. Later, I found out that they were going to draw down 42 inmates in 1 day. Got back on the phone with the federal marshal, and I have to say, I think the decision to do what they did was influenced by our chairman. Mr. Lawson had made a phone call to the marshal service, and he had talked to the marshal service, and the discussion I had on the phone indicated that we had a major problem here, and they understood my point of view because I am the sheriff and supposed to have the decision-making power over the facility. We either have 2 choices. We either can, in my opinion, hire 8 more new officers immediately so we can take care of the facility the way it should be taken care of, or reduce the number of inmates. I only had the one option of reducing the inmates at this time. And I did it for the concern of the inmates and for the concern of the officers. I never deemed the jail unsafe. Some people keep asking me that same question. I never deemed the jail to be unsafe. The steps I took were to make it safer.